Hello, Andy the Maniacal Cinephile here, and this week I saw Ben-Hur. Said no one.
Somebody had to take all those remaining free posters.
Don't Breathe is about a trio of reckless thieves who break into the house of a wealthy blind man, thinking it'll be an easy heist, but end up playing a deadly game of Marco Polo. This thriller is the second feature-length film from writer-director Fede Alvarez. Don't Breathe is a reaction to the criticisms of his debut film, The Evil Dead Remake. He wanted his second film to be an original story, have less gore, more suspense, and no supernatural element. And it's a smart move that pays off. The film has been described as Hitchcock on crack.
And shit your pants terrifying. And they were right.
Rocky, Alex, and Money are three Detroit thieves who get their kicks by breaking into the houses of wealthy people. Money gets word about a blind veteran who won a major cash settlement following the death of his daughter. Figuring he's an easy mark, the trio break into a secluded home in a neighborhood that's abandoned.
Isn't it kind of convenient that the neighborhood is empty?
It's Detroit, like someone's gonna hear gunshots and call the cops.
Finding themselves trapped inside, the intruders must fight for their lives after making a shocking discovery about their supposedly helpless victim.
Turns out the blind guy is Stephen Lang.
That's one ripped grandpa.
Even though he's blind and 64 years old, that character is intense. Rocky, Alex, and Money are played by Jane Levy from the Evil Dead remake, Dylan Minnette, and Daniel Zovatto, respectively. After watching Evil Dead and Don't Breathe, Jane Levy is very good at getting beat up.
You're worthless!
One issue I have with the movie involves the characters. I thought their motivation would be similar to the characters from The People Under the Stairs. Their mother needs medicine that they can't afford, or they're all going to lose their homes or something. That's why they need to break into this old guy's house and steal his 300 grand.
Like Robin Hood helping the poor. I wish this movie had a fox in it.
But no, instead we meet them already robbing homes for fun.
So was the Money character urinating or ejaculating on the victim's floor?
I couldn't tell, but I do know that man-pudding plays a part later on. So yeah, the main characters are a little unlikable. For the first half of the movie, I was actually rooting against them because they're robbing a blind old vet.
How many of you are there?
There's 12 of us. Yeah, there's 12 of us.
Yeah, there's 12 of us. Back off, old man!
But then you find out that the blind man isn't so innocent either. I wasn't sure who to root for. But that conflict may have been their intention.
I'm so confused. Do I pick the crook or the crazy man?
There's a little sympathy for Alex because he's got like a little baby face, and at one point he does decide to do the right thing. And Rocky wants to start a new life with her little sister, but that's just one very short scene. If it were developed just a tad bit more and they played up the sympathy card, maybe I could look past their flaws. The blind man is played by Stephen Lang, and is a different antagonist. Finally, a horror villain for me! Wish I could see it. So why a blind antagonist? Well, Fede Alvarez felt that villains too often are given abilities to make them more powerful, so he went in the opposite direction and took abilities away. While they do a great job of making the villain intimidating, in the end, he's still blind. And this leads to another issue that I have. Distract him with a noise! Cuckoo, go! Lead him up to the top of the stairs and then kick him down him. Sneak to the kitchen, grab a knife, wait by a doorway, and then stab him in the neck. Put some objects in the hallway so he trips. Like a skateboard. Maybe some oil slick.
Seriously, build an elaborate series of traps like Home Alone. Swing some paint buckets into his face.
So what did we learn today?
Never rob Stick from Daredevil.
The blind man had a cute puppy.
Yeah, if you think Cujo is cute.
Your smelly shoes will betray you.
Lastly, this movie taught me that people with disabilities are monsters.
Okay, I'm gonna get into spoiler territory now, so skip to this time code if you don't want to know anything about the most fucked up scene in the movie. So as it turns out, the blind man isn't so innocent. His daughter was killed in a hit and run and the driver got off free. So the blind man kidnapped the driver, keeps her chained up in his basement, and wants her to give him a new daughter.
2 words: sex swing and turkey baster.
This was my face during that entire scene. Ew. Handicapped characters are the hot new thing. Over the summer I watched Hush about a deaf woman who fights off a killer. In Don't Breathe, a woman fights off a blind man.
Hey, now is the perfect time for me to develop that script I wrote about a woman who fights off a quadriplegic.
Some of my criticisms were that I'd like the main characters to be a tad bit more likable. The horror trope of asking why characters are doing this when they should be doing that, which every horror movie is guilty of. Lastly, it was very annoying reading the text messages on the phone because the close-ups had a very shallow depth of field. What did it say? I missed the part where it was in focus. But honestly, that's nitpicking. Don't Breathe is a intense, simple, yet effective movie. There's very little dialogue in the movie as well. It's kind of like a silent film. I did like the scene in the basement when he turns off the power and then they have to fight him in the dark.
Now you're gonna see what I see.
Hello? Where are you?
There you are! I got you now, you blind son of a bitch! Assisted living? More like assisted dying!
The less you know about it beforehand, the better. Trailers nowadays just give away the entire movie.
You should really go into this one blind. Oh, fuck off.
It's nice to see a modern horror film that takes place mostly in one house that isn't haunted. It's a solid thriller and a welcome addition to the home invasion genre. There are actual moments of tension and not a bunch of cheap jump scares. So would I recommend Don't Breathe? Yes. This has been Andy, the Maniacal Cinephile.
Thanks for watching.
And see you next time.